Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel here, guys. I'm recapping the Week 7 game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions, a game that was won by the Bengals on a last-second field goal, 27-24. Mike Nugent hits a 54-yard field goal, his second game-winning field goal in as many weeks. Certainly another clutch kick by Nugent. As Cincinnati pulls one out, they go to 5-2. Detroit goes to 4-3. And I thought in this one, what a big difference was for me was I expected, the front line of Detroit, that defensive line, that vaunted defensive line that said they were the best coming into the season. They played today against an opposite defensive line that of the Bengals that is thought by many to be the best in the league. Thought Detroit would come and rise to the challenge on that defensive line, but as it turned out, while they did pretty well against the run, that defensive line was not able to sack Andy Dalton even once. You saw Andy Dalton get very comfortable in the pocket, throw for over 300 yards. A.J. Green, 155 of those receiving yards. In fact, you saw A.J. Green and Calvin Johnson both go for 155 yards. Johnson with 2 touchdowns, Green with 1. And, to me, the difference in this game was the fact that obviously Detroit could not get much of a pass rush. I thought, Dalton, again, it was one of these games where, the last team with the ball won. And I thought where Detroit had their chance was when finally that defense made a stand late in the fourth quarter. Detroit looked like they'd be able to take advantage in the tie game and maybe punch it in for a score, but give Cincinnati credit. They held Detroit, forced a punt, and then, of course, Andy Dalton gets the Cincinnati Bengals in good enough field position for the game-winning field goal. And again, it was a little bit surprising from the standpoint that neither of the teams were able to do really anything on the ground, but they didn't need to. I mean, both these quarterbacks played very well. You saw Stafford go over 300 yards, and it was the first time in several games after playing against a lot of good quarterbacks that Cincinnati had led up a 300-yard passer. So give Stafford credit for that. Certainly wasn't on the offense today for Detroit. Reggie Bush struggled to get going a little bit, but again, they put up 24 points. They were clutch when they needed to be. Calvin Johnson was brilliant again with some of the catches he made. I mean, it's truly incredible how Stafford can pretty much throw the ball into double, and today it looked like triple coverage, and Johnson comes down with these catches. It's simply remarkable. But look, a lot of talent on display today. The Bengals pull it out in the end. They did have several injuries in this game. Some seem more serious than others, to the likes of Leon Hall, Ray Maliuga. Marvin Jones even suffered an injury. So we'll see how that unfolds. Also, from a fantasy and Lions standpoint, I like what I see from Chris Durham developing opposite, certainly from Calvin Johnson after the Nate Burleson injury. I think that's going to serve them well in the coming weeks and heading, towards the second half of the season here. But next week, the Bengals return home to play the Jets, and Detroit will face the Dallas Cowboys in a matchup of 2 4-3 teams, which is a big game. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I preview and recap every game every week, and I'm always talking the news of the day in the NFL. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks for listening, and have a great night.